Have you ever sent a text message? Of course, you have. It's instant, easy, and connects us across any distance. But have you ever stopped to think about how this all started? What was the original text message? Today, we're diving deep into the revolutionary invention that shrunk the world, laid the groundwork for our digital age, and changed humanity forever: the telegraph. Before the mid-1800s, communication was slow, painfully slow. If you wanted to send a message from New York to London, you'd write a letter, give it to someone traveling by ship, and then wait weeks, maybe even months, for it to arrive. News traveled at the speed of the fastest horse or the fastest boat. This meant that by the time you heard about a major event happening across the country, it was already ancient history. Business deals were sluggish, personal news was delayed, and the world felt enormous and disconnected. People dreamed of a way to send information instantly, like a magical thought transfer. Little did they know that magic was just around the corner, powered by electricity. The story of the telegraph isn't the tale of one lone inventor having a single aha moment. It's a story of collaboration, competition, and building upon the work of others. Throughout the early 19th century, scientists across Europe were fascinated by the new phenomenon of electricity and electromagnetism. People like André-Marie Ampère in France and Carl Friedrich Gauss in Germany were building early, often clunky, prototypes of devices that could send signals over wires. These early telegraphs were complex, sometimes using dozens of wires and complicated needle systems to point to letters. They were ingenious, but not very practical for widespread use. The world was waiting for a system that was simple, reliable, and efficient. Enter Samuel Morse. Now, you've probably heard his name, but Morse wasn't your typical scientist or engineer. He was actually a successful portrait painter. In 1832, while sailing home from Europe, he overheard a conversation about Michael Faraday's recent discoveries with electromagnets. An idea sparked in his mind. If an electric current could be started and stopped, couldn't that be used to create a signal? A language. He became obsessed with this concept. For years, he tinkered and experimented, often in poverty, sacrificing his art career for his new passion. But Morse didn't do it alone. He teamed up with two crucial partners: Leonard Gale, a chemistry professor, who helped him understand the science behind building more powerful electromagnets, and Alfred Vail, a brilliant mechanic who was instrumental in refining the physical design of the telegraph machine. It was Vail who is often credited with improving the key the device used for tapping out messages and the register, which recorded the incoming signals on a strip of paper. Together, this team created a system that was elegantly simple. Instead of needing 26 different wires for 26 letters, they used just one. How? Through a revolutionary new code. This, of course, was the legendary Morse code. It was a language of dots and dashes, short and long electrical pulses. Common letters like E were given a simple code, a single dot, while less common letters like Q got a longer combination. This efficiency was pure genius. It meant messages could be sent quickly and accurately by a trained operator. After years of development and countless setbacks, the big moment arrived. Morse had secured funding from the U.S. Congress to build a demonstration line. On May 24, 1844, the first official telegraph message was sent from the Supreme Court chamber in Washington, D.C. to a railroad station in Baltimore, about 40 miles away. Morse, surrounded by anxious politicians and observers, tapped out a message chosen by Annie Ellsworth, the daughter of the patent commissioner. The message was from the Bible. "What hath God wrought?" The message was received in Baltimore almost instantly, and the operator there immediately tapped it back to confirm. The room in Washington erupted. It was a success. The world had just witnessed a miracle of modern science. The age of instantaneous long-distance communication had begun. The impact was immediate and explosive. Telegraph lines began crisscrossing the United States and Europe like a giant spider web. Suddenly, newspapers could report on events from hundreds of miles away on the very same day. Businesses could coordinate prices, manage supply chains, and make deals in minutes instead of weeks. The stock market was transformed, with brokers able to react to news in real time. Railroads used the telegraph to schedule trains and prevent collisions, making travel safer and more efficient. It was the internet of the 19th century, connecting people and economies in ways never before imagined. It also changed the face of warfare. During the American Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln spent countless hours in the War Department's telegraph office, receiving real-time updates from his generals on the battlefield and sending orders back. This direct line of communication gave the Union a significant strategic advantage. The next great challenge was crossing the oceans. Laying a cable across the vast, deep, and treacherous Atlantic Ocean floor was an incredible engineering feat filled with failures and frustrations. After several broken cables and near bankruptcies, a permanent transatlantic cable was successfully completed in 1866 by the visionary Cyrus Field. For the first time in history, North America and Europe were connected in real time. A message that once took 2 weeks by ship now took just 2 minutes. The world felt smaller than ever. The telegraph reigned supreme for decades, but it also paved the way for the technologies that would eventually replace it. The telephone, invented by Alexander Graham Bell, was essentially an attempt to send the human voice over telegraph wires. Guglielmo Marconi's wireless telegraph, which sent Morse code through the airwaves, led directly to the invention of radio. Every single form of electronic communication we use today, from your smartphone to the global internet, can trace its lineage back to those first dots and dashes tapped out by Samuel Morse. So, the next time you send a quick text, post a photo, or video call a friend on the other side of the world, take a moment to remember the humble telegraph. It wasn't just an invention, it was the spark that ignited the communications revolution. It was the first time humanity truly conquered distance, connecting us all with the invisible, magical power of the electric current. It taught us that with ingenuity and perseverance, we could make the impossible possible. Thanks so much for watching and journeying back in time with us. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the inventions that shaped our world. Let us know in the comments what invention you'd like to see us cover next. Until then, stay curious.